Welcome to Plumbush Farm. I'm Gabe, and I don't know if this little guy has a name yet, but somebody suggested we should call him Joseph, and I don't think that's a bad idea. He's got a coat of many colors. For most people, having dairy goats is not a full-time job. It's something that you do in your spare time. We have a family of 8, and we don't have very much spare time. So that's why once a year we push really hard to spend a week or so getting all of the tattooing, registration, DNA testing taken care of so that we can get it out of our way for the year rather than having these things hanging over our heads from year to year. Today we're going to be working at a few of those things that are just maintenance for having registered dairy goats. We're going to be tattooing a few goats, we're going to be DNAing some bucks, and we're going to be just checking a few goats' tattoos to make sure that they are readable for linear appraisal, which is coming up here for us in another week and a half. The first kid we're going to work with is this little buckling. We've got to get him DNA'd and do some tattooing.
Goats like when you scratch them.
They like when you scratch them, don't they? Yeah. You're right. Alright, this goat is Billy the Kid. We've got an envelope to put some of his hairs in. We'll print out the paperwork to send that off for DNAing later on, but right now we're going to grab some hairs.
Mommy, I'm sitting right here on it.
And that only hurts for a second. Okay, so the important thing here is that we have roots attached to those hairs. We don't just want to break the hairs off, we have to have roots attached.
Okay, I'm actually going to get a couple more too. Mr. Billy the Kid.
Is there any requirement for how many you're supposed to send in?
Yeah, it says there should be at least 20. I don't remember which.
Okay. And we found the square nose pliers works really well to grab hairs. Okay, the next step is tattooing the ears, and the first thing Jenny's going to do here is get those ears cleaned up with a wet one. And Billy the Kid doesn't love this. I think he liked having his tail pulled almost more than that. Okay, so his right ear is JMB, left ear is S13. That's what we're doing for tattoos. It works really well if you have 2 pliers, one that is set up for your herd tattoo. Our herd tattoo is JMB. That's always going to be in the right ear of every goat that we tattoo. That's this pliers, it doesn't change. The other one changes on every goat, of course.
S13. Yeah. This is a bigger pliers than ours. I'm sitting straight. Okay. Now we are going to test this on an extra envelope. There we go. It says, is that
S13.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Yay.
And we're just gonna, well, I'm just gonna double check that. And that is correct. Left ear S13. We use the green Ketchum paste ink. Put a little bit on the toothbrush and a little bit on the points.
Remember, his right ear is not on the right face. The right ear when you're sitting.
Yeah, right ear means his right ear when you're in the driver's seat. All right, let me just assist here. Clamp hard. There we go. And then we'll grab.
Came through the other side.
Came through the other side. Got a good one on him. But one thing we will do is grab a toothbrush and just rub that paste in to make sure that we get a good tattoo. Got side number 2 going on.
Nope, he didn't. All done now.
That time he yelled just a little bit, but we're done now.
Done with his ears?
Yep, we got both ears tattooed.
If you're gonna use a brush to rub the tattoo ink in, be sure it's a soft bristle toothbrush. I think we got him pretty good.
Okay, we're done with the Billy the Kid, but now we got to run out to the pasture and bring in some of the other goats because we've got a few others that still need tattoos, and we just want to check our goats and make sure that all the tattoos are readable. Our water finally went down enough the goats decided they can jump across this. And last of all comes Sweetie. Sweetie's gonna kid pretty soon. You know how sometimes you put things off? Well, Sweetie is a case of putting things off. She is not tattooed and we need to get that taken care of. One thing that quickly becomes apparent when we check these tattoos is that some tattoos are better than others. And interestingly, the goats that we have purchased from farms who show have very good quality tattoos. And on the other hand, we have a couple goats from a farm that didn't show, and their tattoo quality was pretty hard to read. Most of our goats were tattooed by us because for the most part we have goats that we've raised. And happily we can report that our tattoos are easy to read. This is Sweetie. She is a year old, and in a perfect world we'd have her tattooed by now, but unfortunately we didn't get that done yet. And so we're going to try and get her tattooed taken care of in a little bit. Okay, this is why you test it on a piece of paper first. This goat is supposed to be R24, and the letters are completely backwards. Letters and numbers are completely backwards, so we just got to switch them around. We'll test that again. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Always check it on paper first. This is pineapple.
That's JMB.
That's the JMB side, which is what we needed to see. And on the other side, we have
P8.
Conan does not think this is fun.
P6. JMB.
Getting ready to get some good footage of Lynx, and then a pretty girl walked by. Lynx, what in the world? We need some girls from you. You keep giving us boys. You're such a stinker. The most fun thing, of course, is checking buck tattoos.
You're scared of me, remember?
Checking tattoos on bucks is a little more challenging.
Guys.
Sometimes when the tattoos are hard to read, it helps to get a big light on the back side of the ear. Well, this is the kind of stuff that isn't really all that much fun, and you end up with goats running around all over, and sometimes they're hard to catch. but we did get most of the things done that we needed to get taken care of tonight. One thing we found out is that this black goat behind me, Black Storm, does not have his tattoos visible. So in order to get him ready for linear appraisal, we would have to re-tattoo him and send off some paperwork. We don't know whether we have time to get that done, but that's probably the next step for him. He has black ears, which make tattoos really hard to see. Sometimes those tattoos just kind of disappear. All right, I think that wraps us up for this time. Thanks for coming along. We really appreciate it.